Yo, what is good? My anime people, what is good, yo? Guys, I have some interesting things to talk about when it comes down to this show, but at the same time, I feel like this week's episode is pretty straightforward with how they are seemingly treating the other wonders in this show. Weirdly enough, it's almost as if all of them can be perfectly, in sync or not in sync. They can all perfectly coexist together, but the way stuff is kind of turning out right now, it might not stay that way for long. Um, Not only did we get a good explanation on why certain people are disappearing, because of like certain steps, and you're kind of crossing into their realm. Like once you gone too far, they have the power to do whatever they want to you once you go in there, and if you don't follow the rules and all that stuff. Um, it came to my attention that what if the rules are much more skewed, right? Like, what if the rules were like, hey, if you don't die, you are going to die, or something weird like that, something that seemingly you can't necessarily just outright do without, you know, wanting to not do it, and or something that, like, for instance, if you talk, sneeze, or breathe, I get to take your soul or something, like weird stuff like that seems like it's possible with these types of places and realms that they're getting into, just with how much control this girl wound up having thanks to them being in a domain where she just controlled. And as soon as something that the seal that she had was lifted, that control was absolutely revoked, and the whole world pretty much fell apart. Um, the one thing that was told to us too about this realm in particular is that it kind of teeters on the edge of being near the real world and near the world of the death. It's like right in the middle. So even though we saw all of those kids turned into dolls or people that just stepped on the stairs, you have to wonder how long all of those dolls have been there if they don't age, if they don't, die, supposedly. What if they're all still high school age students that are dolls, and once they're released, it's just a bunch of kids that don't even go to the school anymore that should have been graduated years ago, showing up out of nowhere. That's kind of what I saw out of this. That was kind of funny to me, and I was just like, does this really work? Like, what's really gonna happen? And what if those people did age? It just seems like they shouldn't have, because time should move at a different pace in there and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm super interested to see what happens next week, just by them teasing us with that as a overall outcome in this week's episode. And not only that, it's come to my attention that anybody who kind of gets stuck in these situations are going to need a way out, and who better than to reach out for than the person who is supposed to keep balanced everything. And we also saw that he does actually, his transformation form actually makes him stronger when he gets his little cape and stuff. I thought that was just him cosplaying. I thought he was just kind of, oh, I'll play the part of the villain, wee. But I guess it does make sense that he then started overtaking the guy, because at first he was just kind of like keeping up with them, and then next thing you know, he's straight up, being in a position where he's keeping up and stuff, and next thing you know, he steps it up just a little bit more, and there's no more keep up. So I like stuff like that, and I'm looking forward to seeing just what comes out of this show as a whole, because, like I said, it comes to my attention when I see things handled in certain ways that are interesting. I mean, it's not like the second, like, this wonder or whoever was in that domain is dead and gone, but removing the seal, where also does that put her in her fox form Like, what does that put you in the grand scheme of the end of the story, right? Like, are you always going to be in this fox form? Did you lose your whole realm to yourself until the seal's placed? Like, a lot of questions, and I'm guessing next week's episode might answer them, or we might just get into a whole nother rumor and stuff like that. But the one thing I did try to guess was happening was the friend was actually one of this wonders, which could still be possible. I feel like, sure, we didn't see our monitor, the guy who's taking care of everything. We didn't see him get put into a position where he actually had to see if he can be turned into a puppet too, which I imagine he could. That's why he was like defending himself, or it's even worse for him or something, right? Like he was defending himself so much this whole entire show that he comes back and he still doesn't have any of his limbs puppetized, but the other kid got turned full into a puppet, or a doll. So it's funny to me that these are the types of things that they're easily alluding to for us in the case of not giving us the answer and just making it kind of out there, just you don't really know what you're going to get until it just pops off. And I do like shows like that, and at the same time, it might not be the best at the end of the day, but hopefully sooner or later it grows on you, or you find something that you enjoy about it. Because I feel like any show nowadays, you can kind of lose your want to watch it if certain things are too obvious, if certain things start to become very simple and played out. You're just like, oh, I think I can figure out what's coming up, and then it does. Like, oh, okay, that's kind of lame. But with this and how things are playing out, I think they're just having so much fun with weird, weird spiritual stuff, different different ideals of what the spirits can do, how their powers work, what happens when they're gone. And now that we've actually like had to take out one of the wonders and actually, handle the problem that he was bringing about, what happens now, right? Like what comes with that overall. So I would love to hear what you guys are saying. I am looking forward to seeing what else comes into the show. I want to know if you are as well, or if you're just, you know, supporting your boys' videos because you're a real one. I appreciate all of y'all. So thank you so much, and I can't wait to talk to you in the next one. So with that, peace.